Greetings, cohorters, classmates, Professor Crawford, and everybody perceiving this content. My name is Herbert Carrington, and this is the presentation for my final media ecology paper, original paper, the figurative expression of Ong and McLuhan. Hope you enjoy. Media ecology is a theological framework applied to examine media, technology, and communication that affects mankind. It is a philosophical practice analyzing the human environment to gain insight into how each media influences one's perception, feelings, understanding, and values. To be specific, values are the standards that occupies one's social and moral order. Walter Jackson Owen and Herbert Marshall McLuhan are two philosophers that prophesize upon the human consciousness with the communication process. Walter Jackson Owen was an American Jesuit priest and cultural historian that studied media ecology during his time. He also was the professor emeritus of English and of humanities and psychiatry at St. Louis University, where he conducted lecture tours around the world. Now, Herbert Marshall McLuhan was a Canadian philosopher that theorized on the various discourses of media. McLuhan coined the phrase, the medium is the message, producing one of his most notable works of understanding media, the extensions of man. McLuhan taught English at various universities all across the United States before relocating to Canada, where McLuhan professed his knowledge of mass media at the University of Toronto and shaping the styles of thinking and human thought. This article inspects Ong's and McLuhan's media ecology contribution along with their metaphor usage. The use of metaphors could be commonly used as a figure of speech, expression, or methodology of understanding a phenomenon. Therefore, I propose a research questions of one, what is the underlying meaning of the metaphor presented along with the message delivered in such contexts? Number two, what is the metaphorical difference in the delivery of Walter Jackson Owen and Herbert Marshall McLuhan? Owen and McLuhan philosophies are placed in a rhetorical vision to provide an analyst. A metaphoric criticism was applied to decode metaphors expressed to provide an understanding of media and the discourse of human communication for readers to comprehend. The metaphoric criticism was applied to for a great rhetorical vision to understand the underlying meanings of these philosophers' penmanship. Now, Owen supplied a metaphor using an animal as mankind's original transportation method and the machine for our modern day techniques. A horse is like an automobile without wheels, or a wheelless automobile is what he said. Meanwhile, an automobile with wheels is properly operating vehicle that humans use for travel long distance. Similarities in the characteristics of both a horse and an automobile was given for understanding of sight, diet, and body posture, just to provide understanding of the fundamentals of lyric culture and where it derived from. Now, McLuhan provided a great distinction between hot and cold mediums, along with the characteristics and definitions. A hot medium is a media that needs very little input to bridge a gap, whereas a cold medium needs participation from an audience or another individual to build a message, storyline, or plot. McLuhan expressed in a metaphor The movie has the ability to illustrate the flourishment of a flower as a seed breaking through fresh soil into its germination stages and sprouting into the growth of a beautiful flower. This story of this flower would conclude as a plot of its pollution stage and is shown in its own scenes, and the end seed spreading to begin another generation of the same species flower. Now, the differences between Ong and McLuhan are Ong was primarily focused on human consciousness and culture changes along with methods used to communicate with one another, whereas McLuhan typically was centered on media theory as well as the technologies used to communicate. The similarities was Walter Jackson Ong and Herbert Marshall McLuhan were both taught media ecology by Neil Postman, which provides background on their metaphorical usage. Also, they both attended and taught at St. Louis University between the years of 1937 and 1944. And that concludes my presentation. Um, I hope you enjoy. I also hope you read my paper. And any feedback would be greatly appreciated. Thank you for participating, reviewing my content. Blessings.